Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. You and me. Just love it. Finally, by the way, I finished my taxes. My 2006 taxes. So if I've sounded a little cranky the last few days, it's because I went on the road for the better part of 3 months, which was pretty much the entire length of my second extension. And then I had to walk home to my beautiful office, I was knee-deep in paper, literally. I'm not just saying knee-deep. I was knee-deep. Sitting on my floor. Paper everywhere. So if finally I submitted my paperwork to my beleaguered accountant, who, of course, is begging me to please come in. Please. I need time to do your taxes. It's not enough to have the stuff to me by April 15th. I have to have it earlier so I can work on them. And I, of course, knee-deep in paper, I did the best I could. It was killing me. Killing me. Jesus. So it's done now. Gary got his in last night. Because Gary's been on the road a lot, too, with me, mostly. So Gary had the same problem. And Gary had to hightail it out to his accountant, who's out in Sherman Oaks somewhere, and deliver his taxes, deliver his paperwork. And my goodness, pretty soon it'll be January 1st. We could start this all over again. Won't that be fun? Jesus Christ. Pissing me off. Anyway. By the way, a little salute on the Tom Leykis Show, little tip of the Tom Leykis Show hat. I'm not going to say her name, but there's a former member of the bullpen out there, and she knows who she is, who, had to retire from the bullpen. And she was honest with me. She told me, quote, she said, if I get pregnant, I'm having the baby. She told me that. And I just want to salute her for being honest and telling me. And she is retiring from the bullpen, but she'll be going into the Tom Leykis Hall of Fame. Because although she was a steadying force out there in the bullpen, of course, that made it an untenable situation, but I want to thank you. I know you're out there. I want to thank you very much for letting me know before the condom broke or leak or anything. Thank you. Thank you for that. I might add, by the way, it once again proves what I always say, and that is if a woman is not using birth control, it's because she wants to have a baby. This person's 35 years old, and she's not using birth control. I didn't know if she was or she wasn't. I found out when she told me that if she got pregnant, she would have the baby. Well, of course, if you're on birth control, you wouldn't be saying things like that. But thankfully, she told me, and that gave me an opportunity to back out of the driveway. So the bullpen has been depleted. But it was great while it lasted. I talk to you boys about having a bullpen. You think I'm making this stuff up. I'm not. I am not. That bullpen concept really works. But you see, boys, how have I made it to my age and never had a baby? How have I made it to my age and never had to pay child support? Well, you have those stupid losers out there paying child support to 1, 2, 3, even 4 women. I knew one guy, 4 women. He was a disc jockey. Caller number 9, caller number 14, caller number 21. They were all pregnant. He had to pay all of them. Seriously. Now, why are some guys like that and other guys like me, we're not paying child support? The reason is because the minute, I don't care how hot they are, boys, the minute a woman says to you, If I get pregnant, I'm having the baby. That's it. That's the end right there. That's the end of the situation. She is no longer on the roster. You can scratch her. You can put her on the permanently disabled list. She's done. And by the way, I might add, those of you who live in the Los Angeles metropolitan area, we never call it that, but I just find it fun to call it that. We use terms like the Southland or SoCal or whatever, but those of you who live in the Los Angeles metropolitan area should know that this person, who I think is a fine person and fun to hang out with, and we had a really good time, she's out there looking for sex with one of you guys right now. And I don't know if you will have the same communication with her that I had, that she would actually, like, tell you this. But there's somebody out there right now, and she is going to have that baby if you knock her up. I'm letting you know. I'm reminding you, if you have a date coming up, it could be her. Maybe you don't know her that well yet. Maybe this is the first time you're going to jump into the sack with her. And she's a fine person, and she'll probably be a great mom, too. Fine, great, but guess what? You could be a dad, because she is not using birth control, and she's out there right now, and, you know, the biological time clock is ticking away. It's ticking. Because it's ticking, you very well could end up getting roped into something you had no intention of being roped into. Now, I can't thank this person enough for having led me in on this. That is class. That is fantastic. Because, my God, that's the last thing in the world I would want happening. Some accident like that happening. We haven't seen each other in a long time, but I just happened to think about this because she's out there right now. She's, you know, available. Looking. Likes to have fun. I know. I've had a lot of fun with her. A lot of you guys who've dated women who say they've dated Tom Leykis, maybe they weren't lying. But I'm telling you, if the condom gets loose, or if it leaks, or if it breaks, she's having the baby. Now think about this. You don't know her name. You don't know where she is. I'll tell you what, if you're dating a woman from Latin America this week... Dean, I'm not getting specific. I'm not giving this person's identity away because she was good enough to let me in on this. I do not want to finger her as the person who might get pregnant. It's a region. I'm not telling you where she's from, Dean. I'm not telling you where she's from, okay? But all I'm saying is that those of you out there who have a date this weekend, think hard because... she might not be using birth control. And you boys who are stupid enough not to use a condom, you're doing it at your own peril. Because this is somebody who, if you have one mistake, she's going for the goal. I'm telling you right now. She told me, and I'm telling you. You just got to watch your step. And I know a lot of you boys don't. I know a lot of you boys like to party. By the way, this girl loves to party. Likes to knock a few back. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that, you know, she told the guy down at the marijuana store that she had some back pain. But there you are, drinking, smoking, living it up. And you probably will use that as an excuse, saying, well, you know, I was a little buzzed, I was baking, you know, I didn't use a condom. I'm telling you. That this weekend she's out there right now. She's out. She's getting ready.
So you're saying, Tom, that this was the kind of chick that you brought in from the bullpen, like you used to with Gagne and back in the day. Like you knew it was a done deal.
Yes.
I mean, it's top of the ninth. All you had was a run lead and game over.
Yeah, I would just play Welcome to the Jungle when the doorbell rang.
And you knew the job was getting done.
Getting done. Yes. And there's no doubt about it. The job was getting done.
And how long was she in your bullpen before she let you know about this little hiccup.
The thing is, but here's she was honest with me all along, because she had told me at one point that at her age, which would happen to be 35, she had given up, that she didn't think it was going to happen for her, and therefore she had come to peace with it. She told me that. So
she was so efficient out of the bullpen that you would even risk that.
Well, the thing is, once you say something, by the way, the proof is in the pudding. She was completely honest with me. When she changed her mind, she told me. She was completely upfront about it. And I thought it was great.
No, I think it's great, too. I think it's a hard decision to make to put her on the DL. I had to put her on the permanent DL. It's a toughie. Most guys wouldn't do that. I know they wouldn't. That's my point. There's guys out there right now. There's guys out there right now who are going to go out with her. And by the way, she is a good time. I'll tell you right now. She is a good time. The booze and the weed, huh? Yeah. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. She was amazing. The minute she'd go to that knapsack, because, it was prescribed. The doctor prescribed it. And she'd go to that knapsack. You were off to the races. Telling you right now, this is just wonderful. Like to do a good shot of good tequila. She knew the good stuff. Holy cow. I mean, again, I wish all of you guys a good time when you meet her. But just remember, I wouldn't be riding bareback with anybody this weekend, because she is one of the people out there here in Southern California. And she made it known to me that if that condom leaks, she's going for the finish line. She's doing it. She's having that baby. She makes a good living. She's intelligent and well-educated and has a good degree. And, she's not worried about supporting a baby. And I do not know what her opinion is about you joining in to help her out. I have no idea. We didn't go that far. All I know is if the condom breaks, she's taking full advantage and she's running for daylight. I'm telling you right now. But again, I can't criticize her at all, because she was upfront with me. She was upfront with me all the way through. And I never felt I was in a position where I was risking anything. But again, I also didn't know whether or not she was using birth control. I think at one point she was. I think at one point she wasn't. And now I know for sure she's not. So, of course, I know every guy out there now wants her name so they can be on the lookout. But I'm not, because she was so good to me, I would not do that. Would not give her name out. I'm going to tell... I'm just telling you, just generally, if you're here in Southern California, just remember there's at least one person out there who, if the condom fails, she's having your baby. As Paul Anka once said, she is. Done. And I know some of you boys are going to be riding bareback this weekend, and I'm telling you, this is an attractive woman with her own stash. And you will invite her to your home, and you are going to be partying like it's 1999. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, we'll take your calls coming up here at 1-800-5800-TOM. Don't go anywhere.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You need fat at certain places of the body.
Yeah, right. And if you got big boobs, come on in.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. And thanks again to, well, you know who you are. Thank you for telling me the game plan. Katie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Katie?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
All right. You busy over there?
Actually, you know what? I'm just sitting here ready to walk into Nordstrom's, but I had a question for you. Been listening to your show for a long time now, for about 3 years, and I know that you talk about not having children, but what if there was a legal document where you could actually sign and say you would never be financially responsible ever, and you could enjoy the chance of having children?
I still have no interest in having children.
You just don't have the interest at all, even if there wasn't a financial interest at all?
No.
Well, can I ask you why you don't want children?
Well, there are many people who don't want children and who don't have children.
Well, no, I don't want children either. That's why I'm asking what your reason behind it is.
The reason I have not wanted children over the years is because my career takes up a lot of my time. I travel a lot. Mm-hmm. My father was never home when I was a kid, and I don't think it's fair to raise a kid when you're not going to be around.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like the people who buy a puppy, and then they're at work all day long. Like, what is that? If you can't be there with the dog, you shouldn't have a dog.
Oh, I agree with you 100%, Tom. So my reasoning is the same. My job and my career keeps me busy as well as I enjoy spending time with my husband. I don't want to have to share him with anybody else.
Yeah.
So, I
and by the way, I don't want to take my vacations at Legoland. I want to take them like I did this year in Tuscany and Biarritz and London and Rome. That's where I want to be.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I love your show. I only wish I could get my nephew to listen to you more often. He's 17 years old and been in a relationship for 2 years.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know they don't get him. They don't get him down there in the South as much as unless when I bring him here. Then he comes and listens. But other than that, I can't get him to understand. I swear I want to tape your show and send it to him.
Well, the podcasts are available, so maybe you can just listen there.
Absolutely. Can you blow me up, Tom?
Of course I can, dear. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Rose on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, you're sounding well this evening.
Why, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. So I think that your message to this gal that you've been dating is very precious, number one. Obviously, you're trying to send her a message, and I like this soft side of you. Very encouraging. Number two, you had a question.
I just appreciate somebody being honest for a change.
Absolutely, and that's great. So you really wanted to know why, at your age, you don't have children. And
no, I know why.
You managed. Well,
no, I was asking the audience if they know why. I know why.
We do know why. We do know why. I mean, those of us who have seen you, I mean, let me give you this first. You are very intelligent. You have women pegged. However, I have seen you, and there's just no way.
I'm hideous, but dear, I've been married 4 times. I've had numerous relationships, but dear, you're not telling people anything they don't already know.
Well, no,
I know you think you're being a wise ass here, and I know you're going to reveal this big secret to people that you think I'm trying to hide. Everybody knows I'm hideous. Dear, it's no big deal. The bottom line is women don't care about that, with certain exceptions, of course. They care about how much money you have, whether you're successful. And I am both. I have money, I'm successful, I'm famous, I have power, and so it doesn't matter. Women will accept me that way.
But there's a lot of nice-looking men out there that have tons of money. Why would they waste their
Darling,
time?
there aren't that many. There are not that many. I mean, there are not that many. By the way, there are not that many millionaires out there. You think there's a lot of them. There really aren't.
Well, I disagree. I think there are...
Well, dear, then what? Then I guess you're married to a millionaire.
Well, men are smarter than women.
Are you married to a millionaire? What does your husband do for a living?
I'm not married.
Oh, what about all the millionaires out there?
Well, who said I was looking for one, sweetie?
Now, darling, you probably couldn't attract one.
Oh, come on. No, that's not it. That's not everything. I'm not willing to sell out for that.
Oh, in other words, you're not attractive enough to attract a millionaire, and that's why you're so bitter.
You know what? I know you like hot Latina women, and I could forward you my picture and have your mouth drooling. So that's
well, I'll believe that when I see it, and I don't believe it now.
Well, you know what? I'll email it to you.
How tall are you, dear?
You know what?
How tall are you? There's your answer right there. Junka in the trunka.
She's a piggy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. She just got back from the Cinnabon. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Here's Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Not much.
Hey, going back on that subject about birth control. I've been in a relationship for 2.5 years or so, and I like it. I'm one of the guys, a few who like the relationship, the girlfriend. But anyway, my girlfriend does not take birth control because it makes her sick.
By the way, Alex, I know you're a big man on campus and that you know everything, but there are 11 forms of birth control available to women. And it's not just the pill. The pill is one of 11 different forms of birth control. And so you cannot tell me that all 11 forms make her sick because they're not all the same. She's not taking birth control because she wants to have a baby.
She has taken 4 different types of birth control.
Which are the 4 types?
You know what, Tom? I don't know.
She's taken 4 different. She has taken 4. She's taken 4 different prescriptions of birth control pills.
She has.
But we're not. But there are the other 10 methods of birth control other than pills.
Huh. And
if she is not on birth control, it's because she wants to have a baby, son. Now you know she wants to have a baby.
Oh, I know she does.
So then why is she your girl?
We already know that we're not ready.
No, stop with the we stuff, okay? You know you're not ready, but if she is having sex without birth control, son, I know you think you're really mature and you know everything. But the bottom line here, son, is this. You are not ready to have a baby, but because she's having sex without having birth control, I'm telling you, she's ready. You're not ready.
She tells me that she does want a baby.
She wants it now. She wants it now. She wants it now.
I don't doubt it.
Well, you just said we aren't ready. You're wrong. You aren't ready.
Yeah, I'm not ready either.
Then why are you having sex with somebody who wants to have a baby?
Because it's good.
Yeah, well, the sex I just gave up was good, too.
Well...
But you know what? When somebody says, if I get pregnant, I'm going to have a baby, I'm done. And that's why I have made it through without having unwanted children, and you won't.
Well, I want children, just not right now.
But you're going to have them as soon as she puts that pinprick in your condom, you're going to be having a baby. It's coming soon.
I don't wear a condom.
What?
Yeah.
You're an idiot. No, you're laughing. You're an idiot. I'm not kidding. You're an idiot. You are going to have a baby.
Well, I know I'm walking a fine line.
What?
A real fine line.
No, you're not walking a fine line. You've stepped way over the line. She's not using birth control. You're not using birth control. You're going to have a baby soon. Not years from now, soon.
Right.
And
maybe I should change that. Yeah, maybe I should
but you won't because you're a stupid little kid who is not mature and doesn't understand the consequences of what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, I'm still young. Early 20s.
Well, you're a stupid little kid.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to have a kid, the people who don't want to have a kid use birth control. People who do want to have a kid don't.
Yeah, maybe I should start wearing one, huh? Just for the sake of not trying to overpopulate the world and all.
You don't want to have a baby. Listen to me. You don't want to have a baby. Not now, you don't.
Right.
You will stop using a condom when you are ready to have a baby, which is not now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just an idiot.
All right, Tom, take me out with the bong hit, will you?
Sure I will.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I just started listening to you, and every time I listen to you, I just get more and more disturbed about your outlook on women.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show from Hollywood at 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. Thank you calling in. It's Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Heading to the game.
Which game?
The Kings.
Are you in Dallas?
I am.
Okay. The game's in the second period. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh, of course. No, I'm not. No, I'm joking. I'm heading to the Ducks. we're on our way. We're in. I'm in San Diego, or not in San Diego right now, but
the Ducks are raising the Stanley Cup banner tonight.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm out here. I've actually never been to a hockey game, so my buddy invited me out, and we're heading there right now. The game's supposed to start at, what, like 7?
I'm watching the clock here, but I know it's coming soon.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, we right before we turned you on, we were talking about my buddy I haven't seen for a while. He was like, so you with that girl still? I was like, no, we actually just broke up. And he was like, well, what's the reasoning for that, you know? And I was like, well, she had this little thing called, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, it's adult onset acne. And this is the reason why. Okay, so when I first, this girl's really hot, very successful, makes a lot of money, took me out a lot. And anyways, she's 25, and she got this thing, adult onset acne. Her acne started getting pretty bad about 4 months into the relationship. And she went to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist said you have severe acne and you have to be put on to Accutane. And Accutane is a very serious drug, okay? I mean, you got to be put on it. You got to go through tests for it. You got to go through blood tests. You have to actually take a test to be put on this to make sure that you're mentally and physically capable of being put on this. It's serious, okay? And you still there?
No, I left the room.
Okay, so anyways, well, on this stuff, there's 100% birth defect on it, okay? And you have to be on it for 6 months. Well, she told me, look, we're not going to have sex for 6 months. And I was like, what? I was like, that's ridiculous. And then I start, going crazy. I'm like, this is ridiculous. There's no way I'm going without sex. She goes, well, what, are you going to break up with me if we don't have sex for 6 months? I'm going through this thing. And I was like, well, I mean, we're pretty sexual at the time, real sexual. And I go, well, you would obviously get rid of the baby, right? I mean, it's 100% birth deformity, it's going to have a deformity. She goes, no, I don't believe in that. And I'm like, well, get on the pill. She would not get on the pill because it makes her moody. So I had to call in and just tell you my story, how crazy this was on what I was going through, and so I broke up with her. Long story short, I had to break up with her.
She wants to have a baby.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would actually, I'm 27, she's 24. I would like to have a baby. I love kids. But there's no way that if I knew that this 100% birth defect, that the kid is going to be deformed, I would for sure have it,
Aborted.
Aborted. No doubt in my mind, I mean, what do you think about that?
What, about abortion? I'm a supporter.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I've been through a couple of them.
I've been through 4 of them.
I've been through 2 of them, so and they're not fun.
By the way, if I have 6 more, I get a free one. They keep stamping my card.
You got a card already, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
That's exactly right. I also get a free BMT sandwich at Subway.
Subway's a sponsor of the abortions, huh?
I don't know if they're sponsoring it, but I'll happily take the sub.
Yeah. I'll give you my stamp. Yeah, hey, well, actually, you're up to 6.
I can't believe you people are joking about abortion that way.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe you're doing that.
I know it's bad. I mean, it's not like I'm joking about it, because once it really comes down to it, it is a bad thing that, you have to actually. But if you're not in that, I believe that, if you're not in that time of life and you can't really take care of it, hey, don't bring something into this world, especially this world at this time.
Well, that moron who called earlier was riding bareback with a chick who doesn't use birth control. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was riding bareback most of the time, but, you know, I use the old pull-out method, and I'm pretty damn good at it.
That doesn't work.
I'll say...
You are so lucky.
Tom,
you are so lucky.
King. I'm very fertile, too, but I am the king of the pull-out method.
No, I'm telling you, you don't understand. There is no such thing as being the king of it. You've just been very lucky.
Okay, well, I've been not... Obviously, I haven't. I've had 2 abortions.
That's my point. You're not the king of anything.
Okay, for how much sex I've had, I'm pretty damn good at the pull-out.
Maybe you're just firing a lot of blanks.
No, I'm not firing
Why do you think you're so
crazy.
fertile? Maybe you're firing blanks.
No, there's no way I'm firing blanks.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, I think
the pull-out method does not work. And so if it's working for you, chances are you're a little short in the sperm count.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I don't usually wear underwear. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I'm not a doctor.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say, that I love listening to your show. I haven't listened to it much, but I love what I hear so far. So.
And you're from where, Ryan?
I'm from Austin, Texas.
Okay. See, I was watching the clock, and I thought he was going to tell me he's from the East Coast. But
no.
But the fact that he didn't tell me where he was from, now that makes sense.
We're pulling up to the Ducks game right now. So.
Are your parents from the East Coast?
No, my parents are not.
Because you sound like an East Coaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you do.
Wow. I've had a couple drinks. I don't know if...
Maybe that's what it is.
I've never been told that I'm from the East Coast.
Well, you have been told. I just told you, for God's sake. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Jessica on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jessica.
First of all, I'm shocked that the last 2 men that called in have both said that they don't wear condoms.
I've been telling you this.
I'm shocked. My mind cannot wrap around it. But I want to mention that I don't think that women that don't take birth control want to have babies. Because
yes,
I don't take birth control, and I don't want to have a kid.
Then why aren't you using birth control?
Because it doesn't agree with me. I've tried.
But again, dear, no, you haven't tried all the different kinds because they don't all do that. Really, you've used a cervical cap. When did you use it?
Sorry, but why can't I use a condom?
Did you use? Because a condom is not as effective as the female forms of birth control. It's not. It's a good backup method, and I certainly recommend that men use them 100% of the time because it's the only protection we have. But it's far from perfect.
All right. Points taken, and I will do research into the cervical cap, but I'm talking about birth control pills.
Dear, that's one of 11 methods of birth control available to women.
But the other guy, the guy that just talked to you on the phone, it seemed to me like he broke up with his girlfriend because she didn't want to take birth control, and it seems like he didn't want to wear. I would
do the same thing.
He didn't want to wear a condom, so you would break up with her?
No. I use condoms all the time. But I'll tell you this, if I were casually dating somebody who was not using birth control, I'd be out. Out. She would get the boot.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I respect your double method, but I also think that, like, no birth control pill equals I want to have a baby.
Yeah, I didn't say no birth control pill. I said no birth control.
All right.
If a woman doesn't use one of the 11 forms of birth control available, it means she wants to have a baby.
I don't want to have a baby.
Well, then look inside yourself, dear, because there are other ways to protect yourself from getting pregnant, and you don't choose to avail yourself of them. There's got to be a good reason. And I think it's because maybe subconsciously you do want to have a baby.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Then you would know about diaphragms and cervical caps and IUDs. I mean, there's so many of them. I wish men had 11 forms of birth control. I'd use all 11.
Maybe that's because they don't want to deal with it, and they just want women to deal with it.
Dear, darling, I'm telling you, I'm speaking as a man. There aren't enough forms of birth control. I would use every one available. I'll take morning sickness. I'll take, hairy legs. I don't care. Whatever happens.
Oh, all right.
I'd rather have a blood clot than have a baby, okay? Believe me, I would take whatever it takes. I would rather be moody. Probably be good for my ratings.
Well, listen, I have one more question for you, and then I'll be on my way. What were you saying yesterday about engagement rings? Because my boyfriend came home yesterday, and he started going off about it and how he doesn't think they're worth any money.
Right. If you really love him, you don't need an engagement ring, do you?
But they're pretty.
No, you don't need an engagement ring. You don't.
Well, what do I get instead?
You get him for the rest of your life. Everlasting love, darling.
Okay.
Better than any diamond, because it will last into eternity.
Diamonds last for a long time.
Well, why don't you marry a diamond?
All right, Tom. Thanks for ruining my engagement ring.
Well, there you go, dear. Your divorce insurance. I ruined it for you.
All right, well, take me out.
That's one more pawn shop that won't be getting your business.
All right. Fair enough.
I know. Thank you, darling. Murphy, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's happening?
Doing a radio show.
That's exactly right. I was with this one girlfriend, Tom, and she scammed me, let me tell you. 98% of women out there are scammers.
Really?
100%. Let me tell you what happened.
98%.
I was dating this girl for 3 years, and we broke up. 2 months later, I ran into this girl that I used to go to high school with. And come to find out, she posed for Playboy. I'm not going to mention any names. So I said, all right, this has got to be something that I got to put on my mantle. Would you not agree?
That you have to do what with?
I would have to put it on the mantle.
What does that mean?
I got to get her in the bed.
Oh, I thought it meant you were going to take her picture and put it above your fireplace.
No, I took her picture a bunch of times, but it didn't go above the fireplace.
Okay.
So, come to find out, she tells me she's using birth control. Everything's fine. I'm using a condom. We're dating for about 6 months, and she comes to me and tells me that she's got 1 month left on her lease in her apartment. So I told her, here's the deal. I said, I will let you stay with me for 1 month, but you cannot bring any of your stuff to my house. I said, if you want to live with me for 1 month, I said, all your stuff goes to a storage area. Okay?
Okay.
So, she stays there for a month. She ends up leaving, getting a place. We don't talk for about 2 weeks, and she comes back to me and tells me that she's pregnant.
Of course.
Of course. So I told her...
You're going to take as long as possible to tell this story, right?
I am.
Well, just remember, we're going to run out of time in 26 seconds. Go ahead.
I wanted to give her one swift shot to the ovaries. But it didn't happen like that. Went down...
Tune in for part 2 tomorrow on the Tom Leykis Show.
Went down $500 later.
You thought I was kidding about 26 seconds, didn't you?
The Tom Leykis Show.